Airframe, aircraft instrument systems. What flight instruments are normally connect to a pitot static system? Airspeed indicator, vertical speed indicator, and altimeter. What instrument indications will result if the static pressure line becomes disconnected inside the cabin of a pressurized aircraft? The altimeter and airspeed indications will both be lower than normal, and the vertical speed will indicate a momentary descent, then return to zero. Who is authorized to perform tests to calibrate an altimeter? The manufacturer or a certified repair station? What is required after replacement of a component connected to the pitot static system? A leak test. In wet type vacuum pumps, what are the vanes made from? Steel. How are vanes of a wet type pump lubricated? Engine oil. What are the sources of power to a gyroscope instrument operation? Gyroscope instruments can be operated either by a vacuum, electricity, or air pressure. What causes an electric-driven gyro rotor to tilt when the aircraft is turned? Gyroscopic precession. What is used as a reference for range marking of aircraft instruments? The aircraft specifications or type certificate data sheet and a specific aircraft maintenance manual or flight manual. Where are instrument range markings placed? They are applied to the outer edge of the cover glass or over the calibration on a dial face of the instrument. What other type mark is required when range markings are applied to the glass instrument cover? An index mark, which is a white line extending from the glass over onto the instrument case to indicate slippage of the glass. What is a synchrotype remote indicating system? These systems can be used to show movement and position of landing gear, wing flaps, oil cooler, doors, or other movable parts of the aircraft. What type of fuel quantity system is an electric fuel measuring device that accurately determines the density, weight of the fuel in tanks of an aircraft? The capacitor fuel type quantity system. What is meant by swinging a compass? Correcting for deviations by adjusting the compensating magnets. When inspecting a magnetic compass, the ball should be filled with liquid and should not contain any bubbles or discoloration. What is the purpose of the liquid in the ball? To dampen the oscillation of the float. What is the fluid used in a magnetic compass? A clear fluid such as kerosene. Where is the compass correction card placed? Near the compass in plain sight of the pilot. Which instrument is used to indicate the speed of the crankshaft of a reciprocating engine and the speed of the main rotor assembly in turbine engine? A tachometer. What type of indicating system is used to indicate turbine engine exhaust gas temperature? A thermocouple system. What does the manifold pressure gauge indicate when the engine is not operating? Atmospheric pressure. What is used to check manifold pressure gauge for correct indication when the engine is not operating? Either a barometer or an altimeter after it has been set to zero. What is the meaning of the yellow range on the airspeed indicator? It's the cautionary range. What does Mach meter indicate? The ratio of aircraft speed to the speed of sound at a specific altitude and temperature during any time in flight. Why do you not try to remove a blockage in the pitot system? To prevent further damage to the pitot system. What does yellow arc on an instrument dial indicate? Caution. When range markings are placed on an instrument glass, what precaution must be taken? The glass must be marked for slippage indication. What indication errors may be found in altimeters? Scale, hysteresis, and installation. What methods are used to drive, turn, and bank slip indicators? Vacuum, air pressure, or electricity? What does the tachometer indicate? Crankshaft or main turbine rotor speed? Why are slippage marks used on instrument glass covers? To indicate glass rotation in the bezel. What is synchrotype remote indicating system? It's a system that transmits information from one point to another point. Where does an electrical resistance temperature indicator receive a signal? From a temperature sensitive element. Name at least 2 items that should be looked for during an inspection of a magnetic compass. 1. Security attachment. 2. Correct readings at various headings. 3. The barrel should be filled with liquid and not contain any bubbles or discoloration. 4. The scale should be readable. 5. Moving parts should work easily. What can be used to static check a manifold pressure indicator? Current atmospheric pressure.